So the way we become this optimistic, the most optimistic version of ourselves is through one thing: shifting perspective. So I'm going to teach you exactly how to shift your perspective, the exact focus you need to have when things go wrong in your life so that you can become optimistic in literally any situation. So here's the thing. Sometimes we will need to process an emotion that comes up in the body, whether it's stress, anger, resentment, shame, something that's showing up in the body when you feel it, when you see it coming, whether it's through your symptoms or through the feeling in the body. That is something we always want to allow to be there so it can move through us, so it doesn't turn into something we don't like, such as us acting in a way, having a certain behavior that we don't like, projecting it onto somebody else, or if we prolong it for long enough, it can turn physical in the body. So we want to make sure that even when we're experiencing bad things, we're not experiencing toxic positivity where we push down emotions because we're trying to be optimistic. No, sometimes the path to optimism requires us to first feel so that we allow the body to process that and then move into the optimism. Okay, so how do we actually shift our perspective? There is a statement that I use, and I think I've used it a couple times on this podcast and this channel, and I will continue to use this as long as I'm filming podcasts and videos, because this statement has changed my life. I love to almost train everybody that comes into contact with me to start using this statement, because I know how much life gets better when we have this perspective on life. This perspective and this statement that I use is that everything is happening for me. Okay, so this is the baseline. This is a knowing I want you to have. I don't care whatever situation I'm going through, whatever is happening, I will always have this baseline knowing, no matter what, that everything is happening for me. And I promise you, there are probably hundreds, if not thousands, of emotional meltdowns I have prevented in my life, and bad days, sad days, just because I have this knowing. And this is so true for everybody else who uses this as well. So if you want to become obnoxiously optimistic, the first and biggest rule out of everything is to prioritize in your everyday life, knowing that everything is happening for you. When you have this perspective, what you do next is when those bad things happen to you and you have the knowing, okay, everything is happening for me. When the bad thing is happening and you have this knowing, you say, okay, if everything is happening for me, how is this situation happening for me? Okay, so there was a trend on TikTok I absolutely loved, because it was people sharing their current story of the problem that they're going through, the thing that they're going through in life. They share their story 2 times. But the difference between the first time they share it versus the second time, when they change their tone and they realize everything is happening for them, it's like they're saying a completely different story, even though nothing in the reality has actually changed. I'm going to share different scenarios, but I'm going to give the 2 different perspectives. The first perspective is the pessimistic perspective, the perspective that most people have when they go through these scenarios in life. The next perspective is the perspective literally anybody can choose in these situations, and it comes from the knowing that everything is happening for you. So this shows you the power of perspective. I've had 5 failed businesses. I'm filled with shame. I should be so much further ahead. I literally don't know what I'm going to do. Next perspective. These things that didn't work out for me have taught me so much, but have also built my character for discipline and resilience. These failures are not actually failures, they're lessons. I'm so grateful for everything I've learned. I'm so grateful that I'm 10 steps closer. I'm so grateful that I get to now be the person who succeeds in a business, and when I do, I get to teach people how to overcome their failures because I did it myself. Maybe I can make a book out of that. Maybe I can make a podcast out of that. Maybe through these failures, it will make me millions. The difference. Okay, I know that sounds over the top, but when I tell you that's actually how I talk to myself, be over the top. That's fine, because the thing is even though you seem over the top, there is truth in everything I just said there. There is truth in the fact that if a person came to you and said, I've had 5 failed businesses, there is truth that that person had 5 failed businesses, okay? But if the person came to you with a new perspective of the lessons they learned, the fact that everybody who has succeeded has failed, the fact that they can literally make millions off of their failures by making books, podcasts, or some sort of passive income by teaching people about their past failures, and there is truth to that perspective too. But please tell me, if somebody came to you with this information, the first version, how far do you think that person would go in life? How much further do you think they will go in pursuing their business, even though they've had the failures? They're not going to go far because they are dwelling on the failures. If they use the next perspective of all the beautiful things that came from their failures, they are 1,000,000 times more motivated, more excited, and more capable of pursuing their dreams because of their perspective, their optimism, which now has created more motivation and drive to keep going. It has literally, if this person came to you, this imaginary person, and said this, it has changed their life path completely by having the other perspective. Someone comes to you, I'm 50 years old, I'm not married, I want to be married, I can't find anybody, I'm on Tinder all day, I can't find the person for me. Okay, next perspective. I'm 50 years old. Thank God I haven't spent the last 25 years in a miserable marriage. I'm so grateful for this time alone. I have learned about myself so much to the core that I know the kind of person I want to marry, and I am so grateful I have never settled. And when I get married, there is nobody that's going to appreciate it more than me. I think it's such a wonderful thing when people have marriages later in life. I think it's such a wonderful thing. I always see a lot of success in people who wait for the right person for them. We don't need to wait for perfectionism, but we do not want to settle in our life, especially when it comes to marriage. When people wait longer and they know so much more about themselves, they have so much more appreciation for the marriage. I have seen a lot of the time. They have so much more appreciation, and there tends to be a lot of stability when people get married later in life. It's a beautiful thing if you have not found your person yet, literally no matter what age you are. Okay, somebody else. I'm 45 years old. I just got fired from my job. I have to move back in with my parents. I'm so ashamed. I'm so embarrassed. I don't have a job. I'm going to go into debt. I literally don't know what I'm going to do with my life. Okay, same person, same situation, new perspective. This is going to be my last one. Okay. I'm 45 years old, and I finally have the opportunity, the time, the space, and the freedom to figure out what I really want to do, what my soul is calling me to do. There are so many people in this world who live their entire life working on jobs they don't even like and that don't make them happy. I have the time now to end that cycle for myself. I'm so grateful I got fired from that job because I finally have the opportunity to pursue a business, a job that's going to make me more money and it's going to make me happy. Same situation, different perspective. Obnoxiously optimistic. How do we do this? We know that literally every single thing is happening for us. If you don't want to believe it, question why not? When we know everything is happening for us, we stop ourselves in every situation that we consider bad, and we can step out for a minute and look at it from this perspective. If everything is happening for me, what in this situation is happening for me? And you don't move forward with your life until you figure it out. That's how you become obnoxiously optimistic.